Welcome in, everyone. Today we're diving into a real classic, one that's got spaceships, Cold War chills, and maybe, just maybe, a message that runs deeper than we think. We're talking about The Day the Earth Stood Still.
A classic, for sure. And you're right, there's a lot more going on beneath the surface of this film than just aliens landing in Washington, D.C.
Right. It's 1951, tensions are high, and suddenly, bam, a flying saucer plunks itself right in the middle of the nation's capital.
Talk about making an entrance.
You got Klaatu, our alien visitor, and his, let's just say, imposing robot pal, Gort.
Court is definitely not here to make friends.
Nope. They've got a message for humanity, but getting to the bottom of what that message really is,
Yeah.
well, that's where things get interesting.
It's not exactly a straightforward message, especially for 1951.
Not at all. Now, the easy answer, the one everyone throws out there, is that it's all about the bomb, right? Nuclear anxiety and all that.
Makes sense given the timing.
For sure.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. When you really watch it, the word nuclear practically never comes up.
It's true. 3 times, actually, if you're counting. And never about weapons. Which, when you think about other movies from that time, like The 49th Man, where they're basically shouting about atomic bombs the whole time.
Right. It makes you wonder if The Day the Earth Stood Still is trying to tell us something a little different, don't you think?
Oh, absolutely. Klaatu's not just some random alien, he's representing a whole federation of planets. He's thinking on a much bigger scale than just whether or not we blow ourselves up.
So it's more than just put those toys away.
It's more like, you're thinking way too small, and frankly, a little too aggressively, to be playing in the big kids' playground.
Because if we're being honest, humanity in 1951, not exactly known for peaceful coexistence.
Not exactly. And remember, this is a time when rockets are the hot new tech. Suddenly, we're not just fighting over land, we're thinking about space.
Which is exactly what Klaatu's worried about, isn't it? He even says it, soon we'll have the power to take our, let's call them disagreements, into space.
He uses the word aggression, and it's not just about bombs. It's like he's seen something in us, something deeper and maybe a little scarier that makes him go, yeah, those guys shouldn't be let loose on the cosmos.
Oof. Tough but fair assessment. And it's not like he doesn't give us a chance to prove him wrong. He spends time with Helen, talks to Bobby.
Even gets shot trying to understand us. And that's another thing when you think about Klaatu, especially that whole resurrection scene. There's a hint of something almost religious going on there.
Oh, yeah, that's hard to miss. He gets shot, seemingly dies, and then boom, back to life thanks to Gort.
Talk about a power move. It's like they wanted to make sure we knew exactly who was in charge. And the studio even added that line about the almighty spirit after the fact, like they were worried about the implications.
Yeah, subtle.
Makes you wonder if Klaatu's visit is more than just a warning, but maybe a test. Is humanity ready to join the big leagues, or are we still stuck in cosmic kindergarten?
Now, those are some questions worth pondering. And it's clear there's way more to The Day the Earth Stood Still than meets the eye. You know, it's funny, we talk about this galactic federation like it's some kind of, I don't know, interstellar United Nations or something.
Yeah.
But the reality of keeping the peace across a whole universe.
Oh, it's mind-boggling when you think about it. The different species, the cultures, the sheer scale of it all.
Right. It makes our little squabbles down here seem kind of quaint.
Quaint and maybe a little naive. Remember, Klaatu doesn't use the word aggression lightly. He's seen what we're capable of, and it's not just about physical violence. It's about how we approach the universe, our attitude, our assumptions.
And that's what he's trying to warn us about, this idea that we can just rocket our way out into the cosmos and impose our will on whatever we find.
Exactly. And it's interesting you mentioned the United Nations, because when Bobby asks Klaatu, who's the greatest person alive, Klaatu doesn't point to a president or a general.
He goes straight for Professor Barnhart, the scientist.
The one who's trying to understand, not conquer. And that's the key, isn't it?
It's like Klaatu saying, look, if you want to be a part of something bigger, you need to start thinking bigger and not just about bigger bombs.
Right. He even helps Barnhart solve that equation, the one that's crucial for interstellar travel. He's not trying to hold us back. He's trying to guide us.
Showing us a different way.
Exactly. A way that values knowledge and understanding over power and dominance.
Which makes you think about all the cool tech they have. The ship, Gort, the ability to just shut down all our electricity.
Like flipping a switch.
It makes you wonder, what kind of civilization builds that kind of technology? What are their values?
And more importantly, what would it take for humanity to reach that level of, I don't know, galactic responsibility?
Because it's not just about banning bombs, it's about changing the way we think. And that's where Gort comes in.
Ah, Gort. The silent enforcer.
He's a constant reminder that this whole join us or else thing is not a joke.
Not at all. He's the stick to Klaatu's carrot.
And it makes you wonder about the rules of this galactic federation, right? What happens when someone steps out of line?
Because they're not sending Gort to every little border dispute. There's a system here, a whole different way of thinking about justice and consequences.
And that's what makes The Day the Earth Stood Still so chilling. It's not just a fun alien invasion flick. It's asking us to confront some really uncomfortable truths about ourselves.
And to think about the kind of future we're building. Are we going to keep clinging to our old destructive habits?
Or are we ready to evolve, to become something more, to join this galactic federation, whatever that might mean?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? And The Day the Earth Stood Still doesn't give us an easy answer. But it does make us think.
And sometimes, that's the most important thing a film can do. When I think about Gort, I always come back to that line where Klaatu tells Helen there is a police force in the universe.
Yeah, it really gets you thinking, doesn't it? It's not a suggestion, not a maybe someday kind of thing. It's a fact in Klaatu's world. Like it or not, there's a bigger system of galactic law out there.
And Gort is the muscle right there to back it up.
Exactly. It's a pretty sobering thought.
It makes you wonder what that means for a planet like Earth. If we join this federation, do we lose some of our freedom, our independence?
That's the question, isn't it? What are the terms and conditions of joining this galactic club?
Because Klaatu makes it clear, it's not just about signing a peace treaty. It's about a fundamental change in the way we see ourselves and our place in the universe.
Right. It's about growing up, maybe. Accepting that we're not the center of everything.
And that we can't just throw a tantrum every time we don't get our way. Which brings us to that final message, the one Klaatu delivers to all the scientists. He doesn't mince words, does he?
Not at all. He lays it out pretty clearly. Shape up or ship out.
It's a lot of pressure. But I guess that's what happens when you're dealing with a galactic superpower.
And it leaves us with more questions than answers, doesn't it? Can we really change our ways? Are we even capable of joining a community like that?
It's a lot to think about. But that's the beauty of The Day the Earth Stood Still.
Yeah.
It's not just some cheesy sci-fi flick. It's a film that asks big, important questions about who we are and where we're headed as a species.
And those questions are still relevant today, maybe even more so.
Absolutely. So there you have it, our deep dive into The Day the Earth Stood Still, a film that continues to challenge and inspire us, even after all these years. We hope you enjoyed exploring this classic with us, and that maybe it sparked some new thoughts and ideas for you too. Until next time, keep watching the skies and keep asking those big questions.